right. Sup.
Here's what I found.
Shut up, Siri.
Here's what I found.
Shut up, Siri. All right, sound is up. Sound is up. Sound is up. Let's get all these chats up. I know I could have the chats on here, but I prefer to have the chats on here because a little bit better response time when I got chats up. All right, sound is up. Sound is up. Get all these chats up. I can have the chats on here. I prefer to have the chats. Better response time. I got chats up. All right. That was not live. Oh, fuck not. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever part of the day the video chooses to reach you. I hope you're feeling fine, hope you're feeling well, hope you're feeling blessed, hope you realize that you are blessed. It's your boy, Vaughn P, aka Javon Powell, coming to you again with another episode of Political Crash Out. Today we're going to talk about, first biggest thing I want to talk about is, do Republicans, do Democrats have a problem? Because the question was posed to me, do Democrats have a problem? And I've said, no, I don't think Democrats really have a problem. I think Republicans are just really fucking good at marketing. We'll touch on MAGA remorse, MAGA Marva. Y'all see how Tucker Carlson has been giving Republicans hell lately? Like it's very telling as to where he stands in his journey of being a conservative media pundit or whatever he wants to call himself nowadays. I don't think he's still on live media, live TV like he was, but it's very telling these clips that we're seeing up in my ear. The first thing I want to get into is the notion that Democrats have a problem versus Republicans just being very, very, very fucking good at marketing. The reason why I say that is because before the election, I pointed out that Democrats' messaging spoke mainly to people's logical and thoughtful, abilities. They speak to your brain. They speak to you in regards to policy and procedure and what they're going to, put in place to help society. What they're going to do policy wise that is good for everyone. Versus what we've seen from the Republican Party was basically a lot of emotional rhetoric. We've seen Donald Trump not give any policy whatsoever outside of Project 2025 playbook that he was associated with. That they openly denied. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that. I don't know what that is. But then, as soon as the election was over, Project 2025 playbook was just out there for everybody to see. Like, hey, this is what we do. And as you can see, it is getting put into place. And side note, I'm gonna touch on Charleston White bitch ass too. Because what we're seeing here is a lot of Trump supporters, they fell for the emotional rhetoric that has been going on and overlooked and downplayed all the policy that Democrats have been saying that they wanted to do. And we see that continuing on to this day. And you're starting to see a lot of Trump supporters have buyer's remorse in regards to voting for Trump and not getting anything in return, basically, because gas prices still high, grocery prices still high, the job market is being fucked up, stocks and bonds are fucked up right now. Everything is being fucked up because of Trump's on a whim shit. And if you don't believe me, I'm a logic-based person. I got my receipts, y'all. Look.
I'll be honest with y'all about something. I voted for Trump. I'm in a little town outside of Memphis, and I voted for Trump mainly because I'm a Christian man. I've been Christian, I guess my whole life. And Trump said he wants to help the Christians, And then he had me all scared about the Mexicans, saying they're rapists and whatnot, and drug dealers and all that. And he said, I'm going to help them. I'm going to end this on day one and fix eggs on day one. And it just all sounded real pretty like. And then here we are, and Trump's destroying America. That man ain't never spoke the truth, and I should have seen through it.
Uh-oh. I fucked up, y'all. I fucked up. I know y'all don't want to see me. I want to see the fat white boy.
Destroying our goddamn democracy because I'm a Christian man. I've been Christian, I guess my whole life. And Trump said he wants to help the Christians, And then he had me all scared about the Mexicans, saying they're rapists and whatnot, and drug dealers and all that. And he said, I'm going to help them. I'm going to end this on day one and fix eggs on day one. And it just all sounded real pretty like. And then here we are, and Trump's destroying America. That man ain't never spoke the truth, and I should have seen through it. They're a bunch of fucking fascists destroying our goddamn democracy. Excuse me. Destroying our Constitution, going against the courts, going against the laws. And the only people they care about is themselves. They ain't never cared about Christianity. I don't think they care about nothing except for money and power.
We have breaking news right now.
So, like he said, he voted for Trump because he felt like Trump was going to give. He felt like Trump was going to give power to the people, regular people. He felt like Trump was going to be a good Christian man. But what he's seen is that Trump ain't shit.
Republicans on Capitol Hill have failed to include a number of Donald Trump's promises in this latest budget bill that they said would be included. Donald Trump had promised no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. And well, a tax expert just testified on Capitol Hill and said that none of that is included in this budget bill. One of the biggest policies on the campaign trail for Donald Trump was this no tax on tip policy, but that looks like it's not going to be advanced, at least within the Republican caucus in the House of Representatives. And many are saying that this is a lie from Trump on the campaign trail. He's just not living up to the promises that he made while campaigning with voters. This is definitely a promise that helped him win a state like Nevada, which has one of the highest tip earners in the country.
Now, like I said before, Republicans are very good at speaking to people's emotions. These individuals just told you they felt like Donald Trump was going to do so much. And in reality, he hasn't done anything that he said. He went on that campaign trail and spoke to people's emotions. He spoke to people's, just whims and wishes. And there's an old saying, and I keep saying it. A broke or struggling motherfucker will believe anything you say. And Donald Trump knows that. Republicans know that. So much so that they campaigned on it and told you no real policy or logic, but spoke to your emotions. Hey, I'm going to make things better. I'm going to, stuff's tough right now. I'm going to just get better for you. And this is a stark contrast to the Democratic message, which was policy oriented, which was logic based, which was more informative, telling you, hey, I'm going to do this. And that's boring. People didn't want to hear boring. People wanted to hear their emotions spoke to and hope and plead that they were going to be on the right side of it. But as a lot of Trump voters found out, they was on the wrong side of these fucking.
I'll be honest with y'all about something. I voted for Trump. I'm in a little town outside of Memphis, and I voted for Trump mainly because I'm a Christian man. I've been Christian, I guess my whole life. And Trump said he wants to help the Christians, And then he had me all scared about the Mexicans, saying they're rapists and whatnot, and drug dealers. Help them. I'm going to end this.
It takes a toll.
Vincent, you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
You thought the Trump administration was going to...
That he made while campaigning with voters. This is definitely a promise that helped him win a state like Nevada, which has one of the highest tip earners in the country in terms of number of employees who earn tips.
It's financially as well as emotionally. It takes a toll.
Vincent, you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
He thought the Trump administration was going to focus solely on deporting criminals. It seems immigration officials, he says, are just trying to meet quotas now. 6 Nicaraguan men who on May 27th were detained along US 1 in Sugarloaf Key on their way to a job. Their immigration attorney says it should not have happened because 5 of the 6 have their paperwork in order with pending asylum cases. Vincent Scardina is the owner of the roofing company where they worked. He's owned it 37 years.
You become their friends, just not an employer, but a friend. And you see what happens to their family. It's quite a shock.
Given his support for the president, we asked what he would tell the commander-in-chief if he had a chance.
What happened here? This situation is just totally, just blatantly not at all what they said.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I used to be a MAGA Republican, and now I've turned blue.
I expected better from you. I really did. I expected that you would do what was right and cut waste and fraud and all of those things that you promised us before we elected you in office, but you're not doing that. You're creating a disaster, and I don't know what America's going to look like if this continues.
Did you ever think that your job would be impacted in a Trump administration?
No, absolutely not.
For President Trump, what were you hoping that he would do?
I was hoping he would did something that made sense regarding the economy. Made some kind of